together. I'm letting go for once forever. Following this map under Father sky is open heart. Golden hair is spun into the lightning whisper to the stars. I turn my eyes into windows to wildflowers, white and black holes. The light meeting in my middle, between two worlds, the pattern move. A pattern grows into a map. How many times I take this path, woven with the vine, walking the red road alive. Jackie, I be the Maya. Jackie, I be the Maya. Jackie, I be the Maya. Flash of light and open sky, awareness seeing eye to eye. A quilt holding the silence of 1,000 rays streaming through time. I reach out my hand to feel the four winds that turn the wheel. The light meeting in my middle, between two worlds, the pattern move. A pattern grows into a map. How many times I take this path, how many times I peel it back. Still the story stays intact. Free my heart of hearts. Mystery of love, don't go she long.
Peace, greetings. What's going on, everybody? Hold on, let me mute this other. Boom. All right, I had to mute that other side. I'm here. Crane. Can y'all hear my voice? On this other side of the laptop.
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear, nephew. Go on in.
All right. Let me do something real quick. Hold on. Let's see. I don't know. It looked like since the Instagram is down, everything want to play down. But y'all got me right. Can y'all hear my voice? Am I clear? I'm
Hear you
good.
loud and clear.
Oh, for sure. So let's see. I'll make this short and simple. We'll start off with the conversation and I'll just walk through small points and pieces. Hopefully it makes sense. Hopefully it actually makes sense. Because what I'm starting to see is that it seems like people are choosing to be ignorant. Um, what I will say is this: if you are upset with me, your best bet is not to piss me off. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to do the same thing to you, but you're going to get more upset than I. And you are going to involve people because you can't hold your own weight. I'm my daddy only child and I'm a boy. So everything that was pushed on me was on me. A lot of you niggas are overly feminine. There are women that have more nuts than you. So I'm gonna explain this, and it's gonna be very, very simple. If you are tuned in, please pass this on to someone because they may actually need it. Let's share this screen, and let me add this screen in. Let's see. Add to stage. All right. So with the Taka Takaru or the Takaruru, right? Depending on dialect, I stated that the origin of this word is rooted in the Hichiri language. Now, I got pushback for some people or a person who claims to be Mokoma Oconee Tamukwa, but enrolled in the 501c3 tribe in New York. It's fucking insane to me. Doesn't make sense. You're in Kentucky. Now, if you look at the root of the word Taka, Taka is rooted in Hichiti. And the guy who claims to be Tamukwa denied this. He says it's not Hichiti. He went to Aaron Broadwell. Aaron Broadwell is the professor that called the Wale language Creek. And I showed y'all this weeks ago in the myth of the Muskogean language. So Broadwell also puts together this dictionary. Hopefully it pops up on the screen. I don't know what the fuck is going on. There we go. Taka. And taka is a noun meaning fire. But the status is tentative and it should be compared to Creek, Seminole, Tutka, Alabama Kashadi, Tikba, Choctaw, Tikbichi, so or Tuwasa, the Tutka. Now, I'm gonna give you a few daggers here. As I said, we gonna keep this shit moving. When you see Creek Seminole, what these crackers are telling you is, and y'all know at one point we couldn't separate the Makasaki and the Muskogee language. What do y'all mean? Because at one point they were one and the fucking same, and they both were called Creeks by the English. But when they went to war, those who went south were called Mikasuki. Those who stayed friends with the English were called the Muskogee. Both of these words in this form or dialect coming into existence during the Treaty of Paris. Tell me I'm wrong. That's the invention of the motherfucking Creek Nation. So this is when the Creek Nation became a legal entity. Now, so you have the Creek Seminole. We know there's no such thing as Creek and there's no such thing as Seminole. What was the language that they were speaking? Hold that thought. Now, the Alabama Coshati, these are two groups who have the same story, but they popped up on opposite sides of the land. The Alabama language is also known as what? Mobilian or Yama. The Coshati came after the Chickasaw, who were called the Adekata, and we're going to keep it moving. But then you have the word in well, that's Tikba. Then you have the word in Choctaw, which is giving you a tribal name of a people, but you haven't noticed. Tikbichi. Who are the Tukabachi? Why were they called that? And what does it mean? I don't know, but maybe people's autonyms are actually in their fucking language and not someone else's. So the root of your tribal name comes from Creek Seminole, Hichiti, Alabama Coshati, Hichiti, and Choctaw. Europeans broke Hichiti down to one town, and I'll explain why later. This is going to get sweet. Now the guys say, well, the word for fire in Seminole is Iti, right? E-T. He's dead ass wrong. And I have a touchscreen laptop so I can zoom in and touch my screen when I want to. I'm finna zoom this baby in. We finna flip screens. Fire. English, fire, Seminoles, Tortica. Tortica. Who do you not hear what's going on with this word? Now it's not that they just sound the same. They actually mean the same fucking thing. So the Timucua in the Timucua dictionary, Taka, fire, comes from or must be compared to Creek Seminole, Alabama Kashadi, Choctaw, but the Tawasa looks like it possibly borrowed from the Creek. Creek, again, being an English word. Who are they talking about? Let's continue. Now, he said Ikti is the word for fire in Seminole. He's dead as wrong. Ikti means to make a fucking fire. Dagger. The same word is in Yamasi Seminole. Pa, correct me if I'm wrong. It's called Okti and Sukti. One means to make a campfire. The other one means simply campfire. D.
Right.
Ikti.
Right.
Watch this. I'm going to take you back and I'm going to show you how long words become shorter in slang. Watch this. This is the Muskogean dictionary. He claimed Ichthys, he cheated, but in the long form, right here, what do we see? But to light, a campfire, a wood fireplace or stove. Notice, Ichthi. Why? Why? So what they're explaining is there's a fire, tak, being lit. Ikti is the action of lighting a fucking fire. So ikti is the action and tak and taka are the actual fire. Now let's continue. Oh, excuse me. We're going to go here. This is where we are, right here. Here we go. Let me play this for you. Where I sound. Hold on. What's going on? So the Muskogee also used the word tak as the Creek Seminole and the Alabama Coshadi and the Chata have the same root word for fire. He will say the Seminoles used ikti. That's the action, brother. That is the action. You notice that ikti comes with tak when it's a motherfucking verb. You don't know the language. You don't know how this works. Let's continue. Next, we're going to go to Next, we're going to go back here. And it's not only Totika for fire, but everybody know that the Seminoles come from Central America. I wonder what Totekakan really means. Dagger. You don't know who the fuck you're dealing with. You don't know. So now I'm pointing it out that, hey, Totekakan, Tokabachi, and there's one people that I have to mention who has that word in their name, and they were called Hichiti by the Muskogee. Let's get this money, man. You're not fucking with me. Let's talk about it. The origin of the Hichiti is given in various ways, but this is what I have heard regarding them. The true name of these people was Atikata. What does Atik mean? I just fucking wonder. It sounds the same as Tikba, Toteka, Totika, Taka, right? We hear it. I wonder what the fuck Atakata means. And maybe if we just study this, we can find out. It says they claim that they came to some place where the sea was narrow and frozen over. Crossing upon the ice, they traveled from place to place towards the east until they reached the Atlantic Ocean. They traveled for what reason? To see from where the sun came. They traveled to see from where the sun had come. Now, not only did they travel to see where the sun came from, but eventually when they got to the East Coast, they were among the groups of people that saw the Europeans coming in. And when the Europeans were arriving, new people were arriving too. And it says, then the Muskogee, who claimed to have emerged from the navel of the earth somewhere out west near the Rocky Mountains, came to the place where the Hichiti were living. Pause. Let's just think about this for a moment, right? The Atakata were already in the east. We're not going to call it, they were Atakata. They're in the east. They were called that because they went to see from whence the sun came. The word sun in Atakata is Hada. This was adopted by the Muskogean people as Hasi, dagger. This is why the Timucuan word for sun is Hasi. Who it come from? In their word for fire, Taka, Atika. Uh-oh. Who are the Atikada? Now, see, the Muskogee were very warlike, and the Hichiti concluded that it would be best to make friends with them and become a part of them. Ever since, they have been together as one people. Hichiti, Iti. I want you to notice the end of that word, Hichiti. Didn't we just speak about that being a verb? Let me turn my camera on. Y'all got I gotta show my face when I talk about this shit. Listen, what did we just talk about? Right? So Hichiti is a Muskogean word meaning to see, and was given them because they went to see from whence the sun came. So their name was changed from Atakata, dagger, which means the people in the East who were calling themselves the Atakata were close to a people who took that word and called themselves the Takatakaru, or those who bring a new fire. Hit, motherfucking hit. Why is it that Tikti can be found in Arawakian languages and Didi can be found in South American languages, and we can trace this one word from South America all the way up to Central America, then across the White Path into the Southeast? This is what real linguistic anthropologists do. See, dropping in the comments. Them shit, they should be popping up on the screen. I don't know why they ain't popping up on the screen, but here they go. See, the thing is, and the guy used my word, he said, you're playing sound alike. See, this is not sound alike. They actually mean the same. And then when the Miccosukee moved further south, they took the action, meaning to light a fire, as a new base word for fire. But that's just one group. That's those the people in Oklahoma who speak Creek Seminole, which is a colonial language. Because there were no Creeks before Europeans. There were no Seminoles before Europeans. There were no Muskogee before Europeans. So what language do the Creek Seminoles speak today? Literally, Creek Seminole is fucking English. And they took somebody, they created a language so they can do business. Now, it's something important here, and I need you all to sit right here. So I'm gonna sit this here. Something important, and I have to read the Invention of the Creek Nation. Hopefully, I can share this screen, let me go back to my main. So this is the invention of the Creek Nation. So you all know I actually have the work. Um, I'm not the guy that's gonna be screenshotting all day, but I want to read this to you. Um, this is the opening called Tal Kawita. Now it says, derived from the Muskogee verb agweta, to go, Kawita seems an apt label for a wandering people. As Creek oral traditions have it, before time began, the Kawita's ancestors emerged from a hole in the ground somewhere to the west. After emerging from this sacred portal, which the Creeks called the mouth of the ground, these ancestors became eastward travelers, making a generations long journey that eventually brought them to the banks, of the Chattahoochee River. Now, the first to find the sun were called Chickasaw. Ika, Chiika, Chiika, Adikata, man. The Chickasaw and the Adikata are the same people. It means the same. See, someone who doesn't know their own language. Remember, we're talking about a guy who didn't know that myself was in the Mokoma language. Then he goes to a European who says, hey, the word taka is creek. The same European put in his works about the Proto-Muskogean language that these geographical terms are inappropriate for some of the languages involved. Kashadi, which was spoken to the north of others, they are merely intended as convenient ways to discuss the groups. Note that nothing in this argument hinges on the particular names assigned to the groups. Dagger, your own teacher can't even give you the fucking autonym of the languages, so he put a disclaimer in his work. Do you see what I'm saying? Your teacher put a disclaimer in his work. So if your teacher says the word is creek, you obviously got to say, well, that creek is the English word, so it can't be creek. So what is it? And then he'll say, well, is Makasoki or Muskogi, not explaining that the Muskogee and the Miccosukee shared a language before they went to war with each other. And that war was the war that they were slaughtering the Yamasee. Remember, Thomas Woodward wrote that the Yamasee are tall, dark-skinned, got curly hair and thick lips and flat feet. And a war of extermination was waged by the Creeks. Who the fuck are the Creeks? Now let's get back in the invention of the Creek Nation. Let's get back to the invention of the Creek Nation. My favorite part of this book is this. The last chapter is titled The Invention of the Creek Nation. Now, we'll read some highlighted points, right? It says, if not entirely a war in the military sense of the term, the era of the French-Indian War nevertheless witnessed the convergence of historical trends that required the Creeks to apply more concretely to the concept of a Creek nation. So before the wars, hint, hint, there was no Creek. It was the British that's the Creek, the Creek, the Creek. They weren't calling themselves that at all. They weren't calling themselves that. Now, British officials convinced reluctant Creeks to sign away territory in Georgia. Now, this ultimately led to their removal to Indian Territory in the 1830s. To execute these successions, both the British officials and the Creeks relied on the legal construction of a Creek nation. So, in order to be a legal entity, they had to now be able to do what? Buy, sell, and trade. Excuse my voice. Now, The use of the concept of the Creek Nation for the purposes of defending, defining, or ceding land permitted the Creeks to invent themselves as a society territory rather than as a tribal society that just happened to exhibit territorial tendencies. I don't think y'all really know what y'all be saying when y'all call shit Creek. I don't think y'all know what y'all really be saying. I don't think y'all know what y'all really be saying. Um I don't think y'all know what y'all really be saying. Let's continue. Just gonna read highlighted parts. It's too easy. Uh the Creek Nation had in effect become an extended family, and here one finds the root of what might best be called the indigenous origins of Creek nationhood. What happened? They went town to town, replenishing their numbers by inviting decaying tribes. So they went on killing sprees with the European, and anybody who didn't want to fall to the Creek Nation was put down. This is why a lot of tribes became extinct, because they rode under the Creeks, and or like the Yamasi, they fought. Y'all like my new $500 shade? Say less. Now, James Adar, now he published a writing in 1775, and he says, and he's talking about the formation of the Creek or Muskogean Nation. He says many other Indian groups were visibly and fastly declining, but the Muskogean contrast is growing. But this is according to an artful policy that enabled the Muskogee to replenish their numbers by inviting decaying tribes to to incorporate with them. Now, if we look up incorporate in the Muskogee, if we look up incorporate in the Muskogee dictionary, in the Muskogean, what is this? This is their creation and migration stories, right? So if we look up incorporate and we say, you know what, who the fuck did who was incorporated into these groups? Because sometimes what you can find, right? You can find where they usually would become one. Let me see if I can find it. Where can I find this? Because it talked about the Muskogee taking in different groups like the Alabama, the Coshadi, some Yama, after they were going through all of these wars. Um, and it would make sense because remember, everybody was still trying to get them folks up off their land. Now, this important part, I'm going to turn on this phone. So I got two screens on. Hopefully I can flip this camera. Can I flip this camera? Let's see. Let's see. Can I flip this camera? Two, two, two. Let's see. Okay. So here, uh, where are we? Solo layout. So here, on page 232, it's important. It says, crazier. Part of the problem stems from the fact that the term Creek was a British invention, a catch-all label that simplified not only the clan system, but also the ethnic and political diversity found amongst Creek people. Pause. Now, Creeks is a catch-all term. Creek is a European term. So to call the word Creek is not doing it justice when before those people were called Creek, they were called something completely different. Secondly, the Creeks changed the name of the people from Adikata to Hichiiti. Iti being the action of someone who's lighting the flame. Hichi, you don't get that. You know, it's similar to Tikba, Intaka, Intuka, Toteka, but it's someone else speaking. The problem a lot of people have isn't necessarily with me, it's with the fact that they like to challenge themselves against me as if as if this is like, you know, like how I'll fuck it, I'll switch it up. Since he's a man who's not attempting to compete, he's being combative, he's being feminine about it. He took a year because he was wrong about one word and made posts about me for a whole year as I ignored him. We come across the fact that Taka and Taka Takaru has roots in what's improperly called Creek Seminole. It's really Arikata, but broke into, it split into separate divisions, right? And became known as Hichiti, Kushati, all this different shit, Creek Seminole, Alabama Kushati. Even the Choctaw or the Shata are originally Adakata. They just chose not to cross at the same time as the first body. They stayed behind. Their brothers and sisters crossed. They all were a part of the same band. So here's the proof for that here, right here. Then we have in the Muskogean language where we demonstrate that tak means fire too, but iti, when you see the iti, ata, or iti, ita, iti, ita, iti is the verb. It's the action of someone to do something, to light the fire, right? Um, let's see. We'll go English. My apologies. Let's see. Because when you put in these words together, notice ah, tuka, fire, right? Keeper. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't know how these words are put together. Like here we go again. Fire, right? And then fire, fireplace, right? So all of these people share commonality. But because, again, as his teacher also knows, he has to be careful with how he groups these things and how he labels them, right? Then we'll go up. Let's see if he has, and this is Broadwell, and I'm going to show you some other work of his. We're going to close out on that. But these are his classifications. He's attempting to reconstruct what he considers the Proto-Muskogean language. Let's see. So this was first popped off in 1941. Here's a diagram. You have Proto-Muskogean broken to east and west. Then you have what they call Georgia Muskogean, which eventually became Creek Seminole, right? And Georgia Muskogean is also said to have become Hichiti Makasaki. Notice that these are all the same fucking thing, right? But it's just Europeans coming up with different subgroups. Here we go. Here goes another one. Proto Muskogean. Then they say Proto broke down the north and south. And the north was considered Creek Seminole, but the south was Southwestern Muskogee and Hichiti Makasaki But aren't the Seminole and the Makasaki or Mikasuki the same? You see where we're going with this. This is all the same language. Now you have Choctaw and Chickasaw, same people. They just split. One decided to go where? East, amongst the Alabama Kushati, who were already, you see what I'm saying? The Kushati came after the Chickasaw. You see it in the name, if you know the meaning of the name. Those who went to see from whence fire came, and those who the fuck came after. Now let's continue. Different diagrams, but these are Europeans who are putting this together, right? Now, the thing that the guy usually has, again, is he has to be right because he's been wrong for a year. And I understand. Oh, he said our words come from this language. So it can appear as if I'm saying that's you. That's if you lack fucking comprehension skills. I'm not an Englishman. I speak English. But Englishmen have adopted words from other languages to build their trade language in somebody else's land. This is the same thing the fucking Timucua groups did. Now, someone would want to argue this, and it's okay. We only have 8% of such and such words. It doesn't matter. This is what people do. People borrow from each other. To spend a year on the internet arguing and still being wrong should be fucking embarrassing. The same year you spent arguing against me or attempting to argue at me, you should have spent that same time finding a fucking career and not sitting at home on the fucking laptop smoking weed all day. If you have children, take time to teach your children their language, especially if you're home all day. As a man, making excuses as to why you can't educate your seeds and you don't have a career, you don't have a job, you're not the breadwinner in the family, I'm always going to look at you different. Now, we're going to go into segment 2. I just need a 3-minute break to water up. So if you all can stay in here with me, and please share this link to just one person. It will be amazing. It will help me, and it help to get the video notarized. So if you all have one person, share this YouTube link with them. If you would like to join the panel, Uncle Ant, if you want to come on, you can hop up here. You know it's nothing. So let me go grab something to drink, and then I'll be back. And we're going to talk about DNA and matrilineal clans. And I'm going to show that a lot of people don't know what they're talking about, especially when it comes to the Gullah. So I'll be right back. And we're going to commercial break. But this commercial break is going to give us a little energy, man. Right? Let's see what we're going to play. What we're going to play.
tree rooted in the mystery. Everything will change, nothing stays the same. And through it all, my roots shall remain. Everything will change, nothing stays the same. And through it all, my roots shall remain. Everything shall remain. My roots shall change. Roots down deep, rooted like a tree, rooted in the mystery. Rooted like a tree, roots down deep, rooted like a tree, rooted in the mystery. Everything will change, nothing stays the same. And through it all, my roots shall remain. Everything will change, nothing stays the same. And through it all, my roots shall remain. Rooted like a tree, roots down deep, rooted like a tree, rooted.
Okay, we back. Let me mute this side. Boom. All right, we locked in. My voice. Peace to everybody that stayed with us. Y'all in the chat, Paul, Crane, Reem, Munt, where you at, cuz? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, I'm in here. I was letting that music play out. Hiyoko family, what's going on? Peace.
What's that? What's that?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, everything. So that was my personal bill. This the free bill.
Hey, I got a disclaimer though before you
Oh,
start
go ahead, cuz.
segment. I told
Cut
Red
up,
Crane
Mark.
last night I was on TikTok, man. Hey, this my disclaimer. I'm not gonna run down what happened, but your stories are your stories. These people, black, white, brown, red, they will attempt to take your story and use it against you. Don't let them do that. That's all I gotta say.
They don't even much know the story to try to flip it.
That's it. That's exactly true. But on certain platforms, if they control their platform, like bruh, hey Pa, the other 2 nights ago, I was in the TikTok platform and I name dropped one of my ancestors, which I was in the red house at the time. I was getting heated. So I name dropped one of my ancestors, bro. Why somebody, a black brother, ran down my ancestor and then had the nerve to block me to where I could not tell my family story. And he on her trying to tell on TikTok was trying to tell my family story as if it was his. I kid you not, when I came back in the broadcast, he had to end his broadcast because when I jumped back in it, he said, these were his words when I got back in. He said, I resonate with this ancestor as if her story is mine.
Oh, wow.
His exact words, bro. I lit up a mean fire up under him. He had to end his broadcast. But
Yeah,
that's just
they would try to steal your ancestor.
yeah, he was trying to do exactly that. And but yeah, bro, y'all tell your stories, don't tell who in it. But
Right.
protect your information.
Right. That's why I'd be like, who are you that I gotta show my bloodline to you? I've seen it too many times that people been trying to steal people ancestors.
Man, that dude called me pretending 16 times. I didn't care about that. But to sit up there and try to steal my family's story was, yeah, that had me on fire.
Yeah. Peace on me.
Who all in here?
Let's
Oh,
see.
peace on me. I see you. I see you now. I see you. Peace,
Peace,
family.
greetings to everybody in the chat. Let's see. All right, perfect, perfect. Where the fuck is my screen? All right, y'all got me. Can y'all hear my voice? Am I locked in?
Yeah, you locked in.
So
Peace to everybody in the chat.
the second part of this, the clown randomly, like I say, they like to start. They throw out random shit. Reese, what's good, cuz? You know they throw out random shit to want to argue. So the guy says, well, haplogroup A, that's central, that's Mesoamerica. Did I not mention that on the shit when I did the DNA test?
Yes,
And
you
I
did.
ran down all the indigenous haplogroups, and I told you which ones were found in the Gullah.
Yes, you
Now,
did.
for some reason, this screen not showing. Let me pull this screen up at the stage. Y'all know we're gonna jump through this. If y'all want the PDF, hit me up. But it says talking about DNA tests. Such testing and comparison are necessary because cultural information alone is not useful for determining the lineage of predominantly dark-skinned, presumably Afro-descendant populations in the Caribbean. As the Gullah demonstrate, their culture is independent from their region, but their mitochondrial DNA is not. But see, their culture is independent. Their culture is independent, but their DNA is not. Why? Anyone?
Hold up. You said the culture is independent, but the DNA is not.
Yep.
Because
Anthropology and the culture would be independent because it ascertains to a certain people. The DNA is not because I mean, come on now, we all got
That's it. Go
admixture.
ahead. Talk that
We
shit.
all got
Because it's people that don't know.
we all got admixture, so the DNA is not gonna be private to a certain
Right.
group.
But now this is where we're going with this. This is where we're going with this. This is where we're going. And I just highlighted Gullah so people can see how many times the Gullah are mentioned um in a work called Out of Africa, right? Now, cuz you said something that they said, well, you and them agree. Your culture don't your culture can't really demonstrate who you are by origin. So we got to actually find this shit out. Now, what happens when the Gullah and Garifuna actually share ancestry?
that means family members and people been fucking, and so that's when the DNA actually spreads abroad.
Now, oftentimes, oftentimes,
I
uh,
got a question real quick because I seen you posted yesterday, but I don't know who the Garifuna is. Or I mean, let me not say that. Where they come
South
from?
America,
Okay.
just South America. I don't want
Okay.
to take too much time
Yeah, I
to
just
how
wanted
I
to
got to
ask that
get
quick question.
to South America. I'm gonna get there. We gonna get there.
You
Trust
gotta
me.
Hey,
get
hey,
down
peace.
south.
Cause,
You can tap
cause we
on them.
finna, cause it's totally flipped. That's why I slapped my knee like chill. You feel me? We
Yeah,
gotta get there. Hear
yeah,
me out.
yeah.
So what these crackers are establishing is they're looking for what they say the possibility of a consistent gene flow into the gullah. It says ongoing relationship between Native and African groups then requires establishing potential relationships between other populations in the Caribbean, which might clarify a pattern or indicate an area of influence. So again, what was everybody thinking? Hey, the people came from South America to North America. Now it says consistent with those findings was E.J. Para, AJPA. He for sure, and he's Jewish, so he ain't got no. He just gonna tell niggas the truth about niggas instead of being like the other people. You know, people be trying to hide shit. He say, and this is a quote, with respect to the Native American influence, there is evidence of female Native American contribution in these Southeastern African American populations. Now, in their handful of tests, they say in the Gullah, we observed 2 individuals with haplogroup B. In the Low Country, it said, excuse me, and in the Low Country, we found all of the haplogroups A, B, C, and D were present.
And let the people know what the lower country is, because they don't know that's called the Carolinas.
That's the Carolinas, coastal Georgia,
that's
Florida,
the
North
coastal
Carolina.
plain. That's the Piedmont. That's the coastal Piedmont.
Yep.
Right.
Your Hartwell, Georgia.
Yep.
Your Charleston, South Carolina.
Yep.
Right.
Well, all up in North Carolina.
Your Camden, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Your Raleigh, North Carolina.
Right. True indigenous.
Virginia.
Georgetown.
Come on, cuz. I'm standing on the chair right now because I'm.
Yeah.
All right, come on, bro. Come on. We talking about the Duke Blue Devils. We talking about that blue paint. We talking about the Tar Heels.
And Carolina Blue.
We talk that Carolina, that blue clay. Blue fire. I ain't got time for this for the other niggas. But let's get back to it. Now, I have this work, and we're going to talk about these haplogroups. And this is why I say I do this shit for real. I don't know why people be playing with me. So I pulled that. Stop playing me. Stop playing me. I do this for real. Stop playing me. Right? So, all right. So we look at this, right? And
okay.
And you feel me? I'm playing. Hey, look, man, Nelly took my song. You feel me? But the Temuco took the Hichiti word. But hey, who am I? Right? Who am I? Like, you know, you gotta point this shit out. But hey,
Stop playing me.
Stop playing me. You feel me? Stop playing me. How you gonna tell me? Like, but here we go. So key haplogroups in the Southeast. Haplogroup A is found among Muskogee-speaking tribes and the Gullah people of South Carolina, showing a deep maternal ancestry. Haplogroup B, present in southeastern populations, also found in the Caribbean and parts of South America, hinting at migration and trade. Haplogroup C and D, linked to Mesoamerican or Muskogean-speaking groups and showing connections to other Mesoamerican populations.
Nephew, stop right there, nephew. Stop right there. Notice what you say. You say migration. Migration.
I know. You got to tell me. Yes.
I
wrote it. I wrote it.
Look, it didn't say nothing about no slave trade.
Hinting at migration and trade. Dagger. Now, with that, slap my knee, because we got to get to the South. You feel me? We got to get to the South. This is what Munt want. This is what cuz looking for. Right? So now we sitting there like, wait, hold on. This doesn't make any sense. But why? See, since the Gullah population is predominantly off the coast of South Carolina and Georgia, a clear genetic line can be traced from the Tuscarora tribal regions of the now United States, these Zapotec regions of Mexico, and the Kuna regions of southern Central America, and the Taino inhabited islands. All of these people are fucking related.
Damn.
Am I the nigga that you really want to have this conversation with, bro? Because I'm the nigga DNA who don't. I got the DNA that don't leave the North. Telling you about the DNA that moves south. You want to tell me what a cracker put in the book when the people that's doing the blood work is finna tell you, hey, you know the Gullah, the Tuscarora, the Zopo, the Kuna, the Taino, all of these people share common ancestors. Now, It suggests rather than replacing the native population, the Gullah and Garifuna were motherfucking combining. Dagger. Dagger. Do you not? Let's continue reading. I like that's why I actually
That,
go
that,
go
that,
ahead,
enhan-
cuz.
that enhances the clan system too.
Garifuna for South America, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all
How
right.
did that DNA get down there if the Gullah never, if they never came up and the Gullah never went down? How it got down there? Obviously, some undocumented motherfucker, right? Everything ain't in no book. This is why you gotta study shit like this. This changes the game.
Hey, but
I keep telling,
we
I
talked
keep
about
telling,
uh,
I keep
we
telling there
talked
was
about
contact.
them canoes wasn't no them canoes that they made what that
Cause
was built to
come
get
on,
across that
man.
water.
Come
I
on,
told him,
man.
I
We
told him
talking
Might have
there
about
took
was,
them 2-3
that
days
gopher
to
weight.
head down there and trade with the folk.
I told him there was
And if
always
they trade, and
contact
why wouldn't
before
you
the
think
slave
that a
trade.
relationship might not come out of some out
Bro,
of that? Come on now.
people hate themselves, bro.
People act like they didn't go mix with other people. Come on
I
now.
got to look up that tribe.
Watch, hey Reese, go look how many tribes in South America call themselves Yama and come back. Go fuck your head up. I ain't arguing with a nigga that never been there. I'm not arguing with a nigga that's in Kentucky, not you, cuz, but the nigga that's in Kentucky and enrolled into a fucking non-profit in New York. Like, come on, bro. You come on, bro.
Incorporated.
Incorporated. You know what I'm saying? That hey, cuz, that nigga gonna ask the chief, am I a member or adopted? The chief
I
said you a
remember
full.
that. I
He
remember
said
that.
you a full adopted member, nigga. What? You you you's a what? Reem is family. Reese is family. They not no fucking full adopted members. Munt is family. Crane is family. They have their own families. As men as the men who speak for their families, they got their own families.
Big fact.
That they mothers and aunties put them in charge of. So a
We,
nigga that don't got that had to run to New York and New Jersey to enroll. But you want to argue. Let's continue. Now,
hey,
his
hey, hey,
conclusion. Oh,
hey, a
go ahead,
dagger on
cuz.
top of what you said.
Say what?
If you got your family together, you technically already did your own blood quantum, because if you got your family together and whoever you say you are, that's what you are. You full blood. Because if you got your family together, but if you
That's what
gotta
you
run off and get adopted, you're not full blood
facts.
because you had
You
to
are
join
an
somebody
adopted
else
fucking
for
member.
right. But if you got your
Your ass is a
family
fucking
together,
adopted.
you definitely a full blood. Can't nobody take that away from you because you here.
Just a
They here
lost
too.
child.
Man, hey, cuz, nigga want to argue with me about Tamukwa, but he not even Tamukwa no more.
Hey, and that's right. Uncle Anthony say,
He
Uncle
get
Anthony
treated.
say, you
He get
have to
treated to a
remember the
different
sea
tribe.
levels were very, very low. Right, you like how we already unearthed the fact that you used to be able to the Rapa Nui used to be able to walk and canoe across from Easter Island to the Yucatan Peninsula.
Facts. We already talked about that. Facts. Actual fucking facts. Now, let's continue this shit, right? So, as there is clearly a genetic
Cuz,
relate. Go ahead. Talk to
you
me.
got the music playing?
Is music playing in the back? What the fuck? It's still playing?
Yeah,
Hold
just
on.
cut back on.
Oh Lord, they trying to get me up out of here.
Hey, now it do that ring. You gonna have to leave. It did that to me. You might have to leave and come back.
All right.
Yeah, it do that. It did that to me. You just gotta leave the entire broadcast and just come back in, and it won't do that.
All right, I'm gonna open back up. But so as there's clearly a genetic relationship between the present day Puerto Rican populations and the present day Maya and present day Nigerians, it should be possible to determine the degree of relationship and mitochondrial DNA between these groups. So that's continuing talking about the links between these different groups, the different women that migrated, where they migrated, all that good stuff. Let me see if I can find something. It's something else that I'm looking for. Let me click this a few times. Um, let's see, cause all right, got okay, DNA, high degree of interbreeding. All right, okay, genetic, okay. The word like Mexico populations. Is this it here? Let me see if I can go up here. All right, so that's what we had just read. Let me go down, 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 down. Let's see. All right, here we go. Here we go. So let's see. So the native populations of the Caribbean, okay. All right, okay, okay, related to okay. So the Gullah and Garifuna proved that there is a direct relationship between Mesoamerica and the Caribbean. All right. Let's see. Moreover, the populations of the Gullah and the populations of Puerto Rico contain mitochondrial DNA haplogroup A haplogroup not found in the normally considered South American ancestral populations of the Caribbean, such as the Yanomamo. Excluding the Garifuna momentarily, the Gullah are not suggested to have ever established a foothold in South America. Their culture is distinct from the Garifuna, and in both, not speaking Spanish and having significantly smaller admixture to their African genetic profile. Yet the Gullah and Garifuna share a haplogroup not normally found in South America. This is cause for reconsideration of any migration model of a Caribbean population originating exclusively from the South American coast. Dagger. DNA disproves all models that spoke of people strictly coming from South America to North America. If that model doesn't speak on people coming down from North America into the Caribs in South America, then that model is definitely flawed and not one that should be used. Dr. York claims a lot of things. That ain't my daddy. So, hey,
And most commonly, what you
he
just
claims a
read,
lot of things.
I am most commonly to what you just read to say that the North American tribes mostly went down into the to the Caribs and then into South America instead of the migration always coming up would be because of the Ice Age. People had to flee to the south.
Now, don't our stories say that all souls originated in the North?
Hmm.
Wale, you remember when I first told you that?
But when you told me what?
Oh boy. With all what Mark just said and what you just said
About what? Oh,
about
about
going
y'all
down
coming from the north to the south?
south after the ice age.
Yeah,
Remember
because
I say, but
because it never touched the southeast of the Americas or North America. It was still cold, but never fully encapsulated the entire
proof
southeast wilderness.
and
It
proof of
stopped.
it is the Carolina Bays.
It stopped like right
The
there
proof
where
of it is the
the
Carolina
Yeah,
Bays.
it stopped right around Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia area.
yeah, which would
Now,
be called the
now
oh
go
in
ahead.
In the day, they called it the Bible Belt. That's that little part that they call the Bible Belt.
The mountains always separated the
Yeah, the
good
mountains.
and the bad, right? In the Carolina Bays, I did a video on these damn near a year ago, probably 2 years ago. Let me share this tab real quick. But these are the Carolina Bays. These are proof that the landscape was different, as we've been saying. And a lot of that thermofrost did reach the southeast, which caused many people to leave. So when I said that the Yamasi crossed ice, a lot of people got upset when I said that.
They didn't
Not,
know that.
not you
Because
feel
they
me,
try
Paul?
to they try to atone it. When you say crossed ice, people think you talking about Siberia.
Siberia.
Yeah.
You know why? They story ain't fucking old enough. that story, you feel me? Cause like that story ain't even old enough. So we got North
But
Carolina,
if you
Carolina.
if you was in the West, it was definitely ice over there. So
Oh my God, cuz you got it. This is why they lived inside the vote.
Don't say nothing.
This is why they live the
about to say,
Right.
ground,
But
cuz
we already
on blood.
we already pointed that out.
Don't say nothing.
You
Yeah,
heard me?
man,
My,
cuz.
you think
Reed,
we
you right,
already
cuz.
yeah, we did
Yeah,
this,
that was
Pa.
look. That
look,
you
we
ain't choke.
already
Yeah,
You
said
ain't
we
choke for no reason just now. Don't say
Yeah,
nothing.
we going too deep. This for July. This for
look,
July, man.
look, we already now me and you already said it, but they ain't gonna go back and watch the video to catch it.
we said that bit 2 years ago. Fact.
yeah, that was a
We
while
said that
ago.
bit 2 years ago. G shit. And bit were upset. Like, no way. We sit here like, bro, you know,
Hey, and
you
then not
know
only
when
that, we showed the map. We showed the map of the
You
ice
watch no
age
thing.
during that period at that
we
time.
show and cut month. Remember, you showed that Carolina was like 200-300 miles wide. You feel me? More into the
Mm-hmm.
Atlantic. Remember that shit,
Yep,
cuz?
I still
Like we
got
were
that
showing
map.
all, yeah, we showing all type of shit. Like,
All the
hey
lands was
boy,
like that.
come
All the
on,
lands was like that. Yep.
stop playing. We know what's going on. Niggas like that. Nigga, listen, man. If I want to learn Ireland, nigga talk about
And the
um
Mississippi was huge as hell.
this is and it was closer to the east.
yeah, it was way closer to the east.
Yep. The Mississippi is as a living river. It's moving west slowly but surely.
Yeah, it was always moving.
Mm-hmm. That's the actual river that moves.
But they're too lazy to sit down to go back and yeah, that's over 2 years ago. That's a lot of footage. They're gonna be like, man, what video? We ain't gonna say the name of the
Yeah,
video.
We
and
ain't gonna say go watch it. Because in that same video is the video I exposed that it's a river in America that's longer than the Mississippi and was called the Mississippi before the Mississippi.
Right.
right. Yep, and we got that too.
Yep, we got that too. And they started in, and they come from the same language. Mississippi,
Mm-hmm.
Missouri. Okay,
Uh-huh.
eat a dick. Which one longer? And which one, if you're coming from west to east, which one would you cross first?
The
Ha!
Missouri.
The
The
one, the
Mississippi.
one,
Yeah,
the one,
exactly. That's the
the
real
one,
Mississippi.
the one that it was right there by Yellowstone.
Yep. Say it again, Pa. The one that's by Yellowstone. Nigga, hey, niggas talking all this
Hey,
shit like we
hey,
don't know.
not only that, like these people sitting up here talking about Turtle Island, this Turtle Rock, whatever. But we got proof that this Snake Land.
Yeah, facts.
Cause what do California look like if you put the Missouri down the middle of the east?
Oh,
Say it again.
yeah.
I say, what do
Like a long
California look
ass
like?
snake.
What do California right like a long ass snake?
Why they gotta
Like
come and
like
fuck with
like
the
like like I took my
traditionalists?
pants off at the pool.
Why they gotta come and fuck with the traditionalists, bro? Why they want to come and mess with the traditionalists? They're
Nigga
not.
want to argue with me, and you don't got no Sarah. Like you don't got nothing. You have, bro. Watch this. Are y'all ready? Well, here go the fucking dagger. Y'all know the name of the tribe he enrolled in or the 501c3? Yaya, Wally, Arda.
That's the 501c3.
He enrolled Wale, bro. Yaya is Yaya not the Wale
Oh yeah,
word
you
for
talking about the
God,
dude.
bro?
Yeah. You talking about the dude.
It's
Yeah. You're
Wa'ili.
right. You're right.
Wa'ili
Yeah.
literally means the
Yeah.
coastal people, bro.
Yeah. He definitely went up to New York and enrolled with them,
Okay,
incorporated.
okay. Your ass incorporated. Bitch ass nigga, you should have took that time to go get a job. Niggas out here got they lady working 10, 12 hours a day. Niggas sit at home on the internet and you trying to argue with a nigga like me?
And the
And
people,
pulling up
Notice I
grown
ain't been
information.
live in weeks.
but
I
what's
ain't
so?
been live in weeks because I'm stacking this paper.
But the thing
Fuck nigga,
is,
I ain't we had to Paul, you my witness. All y'all my witness. I've been off a project for 3 weeks because we cleared
right,
shit. I just
right.
got back to work and I worked 3 weeks, nigga, and I still got 2 bands in my savings. Off work in 3 weeks. Fuck nigga, go get a job, man.
But the thing
Go
is,
get a job. Take care of your family. Stay
but
off
this
the
the thing.
internet trying to argue with a nigga like me. Cause if a
But
nigga
this the
like me
thing.
pull up and let a bitch know, you not gonna take care of you. Man, it's over with, man. You gonna lose everything, bro. Stop playing with me before I take it there, bro. My lady need her feet rubbed. Anyway.
Look. But this the thing, though. The people that he argued against, he went to go join.
Right.
Come on. Yeah, you arguing against us, not knowing you went and joined people who
Because
actually
he
have a
want
related
because
fucking
he
story.
tries to debunk the origins of the language so much that because we set up here online and got his book, he was mad. Well, got they book, the Makoma and Temuco language, and
Yeah.
then he was mad. That's what ticked him off. Once we got that book a year ago, he was, oh, that's not it. That's not self. Myself is not a word in the dictionary, bro. All right, whatever. So.
Okay.
But why he
Hey.
upset? Why he
And
upset? Why he upset and he don't study?
because hey Pa, I'm gonna tell you why he upset. When we put him in his place about his clan, bro, and told him because at first he started off as a Pa. He never said he sat up here and said, I never claimed to be Panther Clan, but you did because your name had the Panther in it, right?
Thank you.
So then he
Thank you.
tried to say, I'm Deer Clan, but then I wrote him, Pa. I wrote him personally, and I wasn't even in the Red House when I wrote him. I was being nice about it, but I was like, hey, bro, we don't. I was like, if you know the characteristics of a deer, you would stop moving the way you're moving.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, Pa, he disappeared for like 3 weeks and came back Fish Clan.
Mm. Mm.
And we already know
fish?
if you gonna keep switching up your clan, that means you don't love your mother.
You don't. You know why? You know
Mm-hmm.
why? Because them people denied him. He's one of those niggas that tried to go get his family, and his family said, nah, we straight. That's why you went to somebody else's tribal nation
Right, to be adopted.
to be adopted. Because your family said, nah,
Because
we
like I said,
straight.
if you got your family together, you already know who you would be by blood because
Come on, man.
you here, you exist.
Man, this pussy ass cracker, I know the fuck he didn't. Man, this dumb ass A-Rod gave me the wrong papers, man. I don't smoke no motherfucking raws.
Oh shit. Yeah,
Bro,
that's
he
that.
gave me the unbleached. Oh, man,
That's
bleach my
that.
paper. But fuck how y'all feel about it, nigga. I like white paper, brown paper. I gotta
And
say,
unbleached rice paper.
Hey, man, hey, cuz, keep them shit to yourself, bro. I swear to God, bro. Hey, say I love Raws. Nah, man, nah, cuz.
I
Nah,
can't do it. I
cuz.
can't do it. I got a box of them. I just be giving them away. Here,
What,
take
bro?
these.
I
Take
get
these
them
with
shit
you.
away.
Take these with you. Take these with you.
Swear to God, boy. Nigga, Raw make me
He
feel
said he's
dry.
smoking them right now.
Say what?
Reese say he's smoking them right now.
Man, I'm rolling up right now, bro. I'm so
Man, I got
mad.
to go grab me. So I got 4 clothes, but man,
Anthony,
yeah.
Anthony. Well,
Hey man,
most of
I
all
needed
your
y'all
water
help
is
on
inside the
TikTok,
earth.
bro. I needed y'all help on TikTok. We got to start a panel, bro, on TikTok
We
because
could
they
do that, bro. Matter of fact, we could do that, bro, cause our shit gonna go dumb on TikTok.
right, exactly. And if we start, we got to start a panel because the panels that I was joining into, bro, I realized that, bro, them people so soft, bro. They sit up here and mute your mic when you trying to talk,
Yeah,
bro. They won't let you
yeah,
talk. So to all that, bro, they are they in their feelings on it. And I tell them on there, I say, hey, nah, I do this from an educational standpoint. I want to hear what you got to say so I can rebuttal first. But they won't even let you rebuttal and shit like
yeah.
that. So we got to have our own platform on there.
Yeah. What I will say is, I was doing real good until people sending me and showing me like, oh, food talk. It's like, bro, I was ignoring food, bro. I really don't give a fuck. But like, I just gotta block them again, bro. Like, because when you got the facts in your face and you still trying to argue, it's like I just need to stay away from you because you a weird motherfucker. Like you will walk in on one of your bitches on her knees, giving a nigga that got 8,000 and be like, nah, I didn't just see that because she told me it was otherwise. For real, cuz. If I'm showing you something,
Hey,
if
Joe.
I show you, if I just showed you 8 books and they all agree, and I showed you the language and the language agree, and you say, well, I'm just gonna listen to the white man. Yeah, yeah, you'll catch a bitch fucking and say, yeah, no, you wasn't. Y'all was praying. That what you do.
Yeah. She must be praying with her head in his lap.
What he said? Hey, what book you said you tried to argue from? Some other Macomb dictionary that he walking around with when we walking around.
Broadwell.
What
So
what we
Broadwell has a Macoma dictionary. However, y'all know how I feel about Broadwell. Remember, he got exposed in the '90s because he came to the school talking about some
he
old.
don't got what we got.
Bro, he don't. He don't.
And when
Bro,
people
listen,
say we don't do the works, bro, yeah, we got physicals. Yeah,
physical,
bro.
bro. That's the difference. See, watch this. That nigga have to go into a book and say, "This is my creation story." Eagle Joe gave us ours. Our elder gave us ours. You can't find that in no fucking book. Show me in the book.
Damn, bro,
Show
I
me.
went to the door.
Say what?
Talking to my dog, I'm trying to open the door. They won't let me open the door.
Shit ridiculous, man. I ain't got too much to say back to fool. Like I say, I'm just gonna block them and keep it moving. Broadwell, he to me, I don't respect the degree because there's no reason you should be calling a language Creek. It's no reason for it, bro. There's no reason for it. Let's see. So we good. Reem, I'm finna hit your phone about that too, cuz. About what you text me this morning.
Yeah, I had walk off from the phone so now they hear you do.
True,
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah. I want you to send me the that thing with the Garifuna and stuff.
Oh, true. I'm finna send that right now. I'm finna send that right now. Say less, man. I'm finna hop off. Thank you,
But
everybody.
shit, I about to yeah, cuz go ahead then. They about to go to this barbershop.
For shit show, man. You know I cut my own hair. I got a bald head, so
They got a bald head.
easy for me. But all right, y'all. Much love. Peace.
All right, love, cuz.